Lynn, what's your name?
Yeah.
What's your name is our last speaker. Thank you very much for joining here for the long hour flight. Thank you. After the Chinese presentation, we have a panel discussion, so I think our audience is preparing some questions. Thank you.
Of course, thank you. So, can we pull up the slide? Thank you. So basically today I was gonna talk about the metrics, which may be different from ISTT in the form that Taipei SPA is a network of science parks, so we are not only targeting one park, but many parks in general. So in that case, let me introduce about Taipei SPA, where I'm working with first. Taipei SPA is an association, a national association, gathering science parks and incubators in Thailand. So we are a collector of networks, a peer community, and also we work across government, private sector, and science parks in different angles. So basically, we position ourselves as an ecosystem integrator, which means we are not building ecosystem. Ecosystem is there, but we just put each jigsaw and connect the dots, right? So what we do is to build capacity of those who work in science parks, in incubators, and connect them not only domestically, but also connect them to the world. So what we do have different platforms that we have done from training, seminar. This is all about knowledge sharing. We also have some survey, some facts and figures regarding science park and incubators landscape. And also we try to build a community that strengthens business incubator and science park. For example, we need to have a good group of investors to connect to science parks so that their clients, SMEs, ventures, startups, can reach out to the next step of fund, right? And yeah, that's pretty much the overview of who we are. So I'm now currently working as a director of Taipei SPA. So we are a very lean organization. So far, 7 of us working there, and we have our board who are directors of science parks to be our directors in terms of giving the direction, but I'm the one that governing all the operations and supervising our team. So let me give you a quick overview of the landscape of science parks and incubators in Thailand first. So we have what they call the University Science Park Network. So as you can see, the word University Science Park means these science parks are initiated by the government, but they are located in the university. So the reason why university is the anchor of the science park is that they create knowledge. They have professors, they have equipment, they have research. So University Science Park is the model where the Ministry of Higher Education, Science Research and Innovation, or we can have it named MACI for short, developed this University Science Park around the country. So there are 16 networks of the universities at the very first phase, like there are founders. They work as a consortium. What does it mean? For example, in the northern part of Thailand, is there anyone ever been to Thailand before? Can I see your hands? Never? Okay, some of them. Okay, so if you have a chance, maybe next year we are going to organize ASPA in Thailand. So we will all invite you to be there with us. So in the north, we have 14 universities worked together as a university science park. But the headquarters located in Chiang Mai is the biggest university in the north. Okay, same thing. We have 3 founders in the south, and we have 7 more coming as a network in the southern science park. And we copy that, the same concept to the northeast. But unfortunately, the northeastern part of Thailand is quite huge, and it's kind of rectangle, square type. So for one science park, it cannot serve the community or the region. So divided into Northeastern 1 and Northeastern 2. So we have currently 4 main hubs of university science parks in Thailand. And from that point, as we work with the ministry gives the university some budget to run science park. So always they will come with KPIs, right? Government budget cannot, even though it's a tax money, but they always ask for impacts. What do you do? What do you contribute to the society? What do you contribute to the economy? So that's the question for the government. So that's why when we help government set up these science parks in Thailand, we also suggest them some metrics, some KPIs, so the government could monitor the performance of each science park. So basically we can divide the metrics into 3 groups. First is called strategy. Okay, so it's on the policy level. Second, it's all about their services, the performance of their services. And last but not least is on their operation, how good or less, excellence on their operation. So I'll go in detail for each one. So let me show you the overview of the structure of the science park. In those science park, 1 north, 1 south, 1 in the northeast, 2 in the northeast, so 4 of them. Each one of them has the same service platform. Okay, we call regional science park 5 platforms. So these are 5 platforms. Starting from the very left side, it's called infrastructure. So you can see science park always have the buildings, labs, or co-working space for the companies, SME startups to work together, right? So we call this infrastructure. It's the hardware. But hardware will make any difference? No, if there is no people, if there is no traffic, if there is no service, right? It's like you have a computer, hardware computer, but you have no software. That's useless, right? So that's why we created 4 platforms to help stimulate the traffic in science parks. So let's go for the far right. We call like basic service. Basic service including first the lab space and testing. Secondly, targeting on innovation design sector, industrial design, product design, packaging design will be included in this second layer of service platform. Third platform is called intellectual property management for industry. So mainly when you work with the university in terms of research collaboration, at the end of the day, it will come out with the research output, right? So someone else have to take care of the agreement or negotiation between the companies and the university. So these are the guys' jobs, okay? And the 4th layer of the service platform is called Science and Technology Infrastructure Data Bank, because we are aware of the whole nation's contribution on putting up their resources like equipment, labs, researchers, technologies. So these platforms, the data bank, collect all the information about researchers in every university. All the lab or equipment that open for the company to utilize or ask for their advice in order to test their products or to do research prototype. And also, this platform collects the name of the researchers who are specializing in different fields. So in this platform, you can just go and search. If you are a company, for example, you are a food processing company, and you look for some new technology in converting your or extending your shelf life, you can go and check out the platform. And last but not least, we set up this office called Industrial Liaison. This Industrial Liaison is like a marketing team who go out and talk to the industry, talk to the SMEs to get their requirements. So So this team will be the front end for the science park to connect with their future customers. Okay, we call these pillar basic service platform. Second pillar is focusing on industrial research and technology capacity development program. So simply call it the technology upgrading unit. So what they do is that they go with the team of the liaison, they go out, right? They talk to the industrial clients, and then they come back to Science Park. Okay, this client have this problem. And so the team, with the second team, will discuss which researchers or which technology could help solve the problems. And then the second team will go and offer the solution to the companies with the package of support. So you look at the service as a consulting company. You have a front end to contact the user, the clients first, and then come back, talk to the team, and then you come up with the package and solution. Second time, you go visit them, understand their problems, you empathize them from the first place, and then you offer them with the solution. And not only the solution, you come up with the financial support from the government. So it will help reduce the risk of the company to upgrade their technology. Because in Thailand, for SMEs, they are very conventional. So when we convince them to do technology upgrading, it's hard for them to make decisions. So financial support from the government would be an incentive for them to make decisions faster and more efficiently. So the second pillar is clear. The third pillar, I think everyone knows that, is business incubation. But we're targeting the science, technology, and innovation incubation, which means it's not just to help someone open up their coffee shop, right? But it needs to be something innovation or technology enabling into their business. So in this third pillar, we have incubation program, acceleration program, and the most important one for the university is research to market. Because you heard a lot, university professors do a lot of research and put it on the shelf, right? And at the end of the day, no one uses it, right? So this program was designed to encourage the university students in MBA to work with the professor and develop business plans and come up with the ideas how to commercialize their technologies. So the professors have seen the potential of commercialization from his own baby. So that's the idea of the research to market platform. And the fourth pillar is collaborative research. This fourth pillar and the second pillar is very similar, but the collaborative research is deeper in terms of their technology in research. It's not just like help productivity, but to do something more advanced in research and take longer time. So for the fourth team, they need to be someone specializing in that technology and understand the usage of the industry. Like they do have to have the industry outlook to understand the future of that industry, and then work together with the industry to prepare the new S-curve for the company. All right? So this is pretty much the overview of the service platforms in University Science Park. Why do we have to give you this information? Because when we decide the metrics, we will have to understand each function, what they do and what they have to contribute. So once we understand their functions, we can then design their metrics or the indicators. I'll give you two examples because I heard from your colleagues that most of you are from incubation centers or those who are from tech transfer office. So I will give you one example on the incubation platform. We divided the metrics into two main types, output and outcome or impact. So, and if you can recognize, I also have the color coding for each metrics, each KPI. Because each KPI representing different angles of the metrics, not only if they are output or outcome, but they are representing how good or how much science, technology, and innovation has been implemented into the leveraging of the companies. Do you measure your performance of the clients? Do you also measure the operation of yourself? Are you operational excellence? And are you measuring the impact? Because most of us are a very good goodwill team. So we probably do a lot of hard work, but at the end of the day, we forgot to count the impact that we have made to the society. So we try to plug this into the performance indicators of each science park, especially for the business incubation. So let me go over a quick overview of the output one. So the first two, it's all about how you introduce or implement science and technology into the companies. So we will measure if the company use the IPs and turn it into business, or if the companies integrate some technologies into their business. Secondly, in each incubation cases, do you have them register as a new company at the end? Why does it matter of having the new company or the new products and services? Meaning that you are doing some value-added activities for the company, right? So you measure the number of new products. And also in terms of clients, we have when the ministry provide a budget, they will have some KPIs. How many clients you have to take care, right? But most of the time, you will have to do it like 10% extra, just in case, because some of them might drop off along the way. So you gotta be aware of this bumper before you complete the KPI. And as the government budget that we provide to science park to run their activities, it's a tax money. So we want to see the return of tax money back to the country as well. So we measure number of new ventures registered, because these new ventures is contributing to the GDP of the country, right? And they will finally pay tax back to the country. And that tax will be converting into science park budget to help other companies in next generation. So that's how the cycle has been developed. And we also look at science park on the growth of customer acquisition. This is not the science park one, sorry. The growth of the clients customer acquisition. For example, day one when they come to the science park, they may have no clients, just a new business, right? But when they graduate, they should have a list of attractions or a number of customers that they can make first dollars, they can make revenues out of. So we measure the number of customer acquisition of our clients, and the most important thing, survival rate. That's why incubation is for. Otherwise, they can do business without the support of incubator, right? But incubator has been designed to reduce the failure of startups or companies. So we have to measure after graduation in the next 3 to 5 years, others will survive, or they just out of the market. Because that shows part of us as the performance to help them strengthen or sustain their business, okay? And in terms of operation metrics, we also measure the graduation rate. Why? Because when you incubate startups in different industries, for example, IT, food, medical, these three industries have different characteristics, right? So for you, IT might take months, right? 6 months, 8 months, and you can see some results. But for medical, you have to have a clinical trial, you have to have your FDA approved, it might take 3 to 5 years. So when we measure the incubation program, we also measure the graduate rate. What is the ratio of those who come in and those who graduate with their business sustained. Okay? And of course, as you are service provider, we always check customer satisfaction. If you are startups, if your companies who work with you satisfied with your services, because that shows the satisfaction, and they are the word of mouth. They are the one that can convince others to join your program later. They are your testimonials. They are the one who speak on behalf of the incubators. Okay? And for the last part would be on the impact. I think this is very common. Revenue growth, job creation. Also, as the incubator, they help connect the startups with the investors. So whenever the startups raise funds or raise the investment, that can be counted as the impact. Okay? And last but not least, the partnership. Sometimes, for example, when I help incubate the companies in Thailand and connect with my peers in Shanghai, they are a registered company and graduated from the science park, and they want to expand their business abroad. So I connect with our friends from Shanghai, and they finally open up their first overseas office in Shanghai. So that's part of the partnership that we open the door for them, and that creates the partnership model for the startup. So this also counts as the impact. And second example is for those who work in IP office, tech transfer office, or technology licensing office. So these three names are kind of equivalent in terms of concept. So we have divided into two main categories as well, output and outcome. For the output, for those who work related to intellectual properties, you have to count how many IPs you file each year, right? And how many of them were granted. I would like to know, I'm not sure if any of you can tell me about how long does it take for Mongolian startups to get their IPs granted? Does it take long here? Years? In Thailand, if it's a patent, it can take 5 years. That's very ridiculous, in terms of innovation economy, because it's a bottleneck for the companies. But what we did in terms of policy-driven approach, we set up what we call a fast track for innovation. So for that fast track, we, as a science park, we endorse the company that their IP has been approved and has been filtered by the government. So they will have another side track to go faster lane than normal 5 years lane. Okay? So I think this is one of the things that as the national infrastructure, the IP registration is also needs to be, I would say, to be efficient in order to promote the innovation economy. And in many cases, the TRO or the TTO, they helped negotiate between the companies and the universities, right? So it will come up with the agreements. What kind of technologies has been transferred in this collaboration, how much the companies have to pay in terms of loyalty fee or one-time, first-time fee, or is there any specific area that the company could use this technology? For example, if this technology can be used in food processing, can be used in cosmetics, for example, and the company that come to license this technology has to negotiate with the university what sector or what area they want to use this technology for. If they want to use all area, they will pay more. right? Because it's the potential of the companies to gain revenue from different angles of business, right? And in many cases, the technology can help spin off the companies or the startups, right? So the TTO team also collect how many startups has been created from this technology spin-off. Okay, the new products and services, and also the industrial partnership. This is a very common, the technology commercialization index or metrics we measure. And in terms of research, we also see in the university or even the research institutions, they will have researchers. Researchers come to the office and ask for the staff or TTO to help draft the disclosure, the invention disclosure. So in each year, we will have like hundreds of disclosure, but from that 100, it will be turned into IPs, maybe just some portion, not all of them. Because we have to measure if it's new, right? If there is anything can be compared to other technologies in the field. So this is part of the review that the TTO has to go through. And in many cases, if that technology has been developed to leverage their technology readiness level or TRL, it might come up with prototypes. So the TTO also collect the prototypes from technologies they coordinate. Okay, and in Thailand, we also measure, as I mentioned, it takes time to file and license and get the IP grant. So we collect that statistics as well to see how long it takes for different type of technology, and of course, customer satisfaction. And for the impact one, when we talk about technology transfer, we are not only looking at push out the technologies to the market, but we also aware that technologies in many cases are not ready for the companies to use. So we need to raise more funds, especially R&D fund, to build from TRL, low TRL to higher TRL. Okay, do you understand the word TRL here? Technology readiness level? Okay, so this is a very common measurement or tools we use to measure how ready your technology is to be used in the market. Okay, and last but not least, the other three impacts is all about revenue that TTOs can generate, the jobs that they help bring in terms of employment, and the technology adoption for their company. So I think that's all for my point to share about the metrics that we measure. Unfortunately, I cannot go into details of what's the number because I don't think that's matter. Different contexts, different countries have different measurements, but this is the idea of the overview indicators we put our eyes on to make sure that each science park has performed very well to serve the country. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Min. Although you were so tired, you were so energetic, full of energy, and thank you for your informative presentation. Is there any question? Any question about the metrics or evaluation? Of course, your concept was a little bit different from what we presented since this morning because we all were from science and technology part and you were an association. But in any case, I have a question about what you mentioned. You mentioned that one of the important things that you evaluate is the survival rate, and it's of great importance to you. My question is, when the company is, let's say, graduated from the incubator and leaves the incubator, do you follow their survival after going out? And if, for example, if you do that, and you see that for example, that is not that much successful as when it was in the incubator or no? Do you do any action to help those incubators, graduated incubators or not?
All right, thank you for the question. First of all, we still keep our relationship with the graduated incubators simply because we are not thinking of them as just our clients, but we think of them as our family members. So once they graduated, we call them alumni. So in each year, we have a club. So the alumni will come back and tell the stories to the young generations, what they have done through the program, and when they get out of the program, how they survive, right? So that's part of it, to build the relationship. And some of the alumni even come back and invested in the new startups, because some startups complement to their business, and they see business potential, so they don't have to go back and do it from scratch. But sometimes someone else has done it somehow, so they contribute back. So that's part of the ecosystem that we built in the Science Park. So the alumni with the ongoing incubating in the program. And when we have other programs or supporting schemes, they are still in contact. So it doesn't matter if they graduate. If there is any program like fundraising and we think that they are the one that eligible or qualified, we reach out to them. So it's not only for, okay, you are in our program for 3 years and now you graduate, we don't look at you. No, that's not what we do.
Yeah, thank you. This is a very good example of networking and growing the network in your circle, and also a good example of synergy between different elements in Science Park. Even those that have been graduated, they are helping others, and somehow they are the mentors for the other companies that are in the incubation. It's a very good example. Thank you very much.
Yeah, can I add just a bit? Because as you can see the structure of the service of Science Park, some companies are the client in one service, and later on there will be a client of another service. So among the service pillars, they transfer the clients among each other. So probably new here, but over there. So the network will be circulating. That's the importance of traffic. So the relationship is working. Yeah, it is. Yeah.
And will the association follows the situation that stated the status of the incubatee and the graduated incubatees,
yeah.
or each science park will follow their success?
Yeah. First of all, each science park will have to take care of their own performance. But as the association, we also have different networks of windows, right? So whenever we see the opportunity, for example, the awards, competition, or the investment pitching, we call this network of Science Park to pull up their potential clients to join the central platform organized by the association. So we are the second tier of KPIs monitoring, but the first tier are the Science Park itself.
Very good. And can I ask, is your association affiliated to the government, to any ministry, or let's say, where does your budget come from?
Okay. Well, this is a tough question. Thai ASPA has been founded with 3 ministries at the first place: Ministry of Science and Technology, Ministry of Industry, and Ministry of Education. Okay, because these 3 ministries, they have their own incubation platforms. And at that time, 15 years ago, there were some quite not alignment in terms of business incubation. So these 3 ministries decided to set up the National Association as a neutral body. So we are not under any ministry. This the first answer. Second answer. Are we getting any funding directly from the government? The answer is no. We are self-sustained. Each year we have secured about 1 to 1.5 million USD each year to survive with 6 to 7 staff at a time. And if we go deep down into the revenue streams, we have three main revenue streams. First is the membership revenue, but it's very little. I would say 10 to 15% of our revenue from the members. Okay. The second streams are from the our own services, like training, internship program, conference delegation, business matching, and so on. So this is the second revenue. It contributes to around 40 to 45% of our total revenue. And the third revenue is from the government project, because we are the only association of the country. So when the government wants to launch new scheme or new supporting program, they will come to us and we will decide the whole process for the government. The government is the policy, and this science park, they are the implementator. The government needs someone else to translate the policy into something implementable. So we are the one. And we work across the network to validate that supporting programs, does it work, what kind of clients. It's like we are building up business model for the government, for the new programs. Yeah, so
can you tell more detail about the membership within you?
Yep. Membership, we have three main categories of membership. First is the full members. I think this is very common. Full members are those who are running science park, incubators, or being the intermediaries, like being in between the ecosystem to help spur the innovation. So this is the full member. Second type of member we call associate members. Most of the associate members are from the companies who used to be in science park, who used to be in the incubators, and they still want to contribute back to the ecosystem. So associate members. Third, we call honorary member. These honorary members are mainly the corporates who run their corporate venture capitals, run their acceleration programs, and want to get some pipeline from the science park to connect with them. So this honorary member will come up with some like donation program and stuff like that, or in-kind program to connect their program with the science parks. So these are three main categories, but all of the categories are organizational members. So not individual member, not Mr. A, Mr. B can be applied. You have to be representative of the organization who are eligible for each type.
Thank you.
Yep.
Any other question? Yes.
About the universities.
Yep.
Are they divided?
About the university types, are they private universities or are they government universities?
Okay, thank you for your question. So far for the map that I show in the previous slides, I'm sorry. Can I go to the slide number 3, please? Yeah, the black one. Number 3. Yeah. Thank you. So in this map, all the university involved with science park activities are public universities. But in the incubation centers, there are mix of public university and private universities. Why I separate these two programs? Science park needs a lot of contribution in terms of research and their resources. So most of the public universities have this in place already, so the government can push to the gateways. But for the private universities, most of their expertise are around business administration. So they are pretty much good at running business incubators because they can generate new ideas of business by supporting the university students to come up with their startup ideas. So these two universities, these two types have different strengths, I would say. So the science park are more very science and technology related.
About the full membership, if someone has a full
Of what we call member privilege, for the full membership and associate membership. For the full membership, you are eligible to be sitting on our board, like have voting right, and can be our board member. Okay, and they can be getting extra discount whenever Thai ASPA is running the program. For example, we have a training program. You can have, if you are full member, you have 2 free seats, something like that. Okay, but if you are associate member, as the membership fee for full member and associate member is different. For the full member, you gotta pay $1,000 USD per year. Yeah, but for the associate member, you can just pay $200 per year, like 5 times less. Yeah.
I have a question.
Yes, sure, Professor. You can use my.
So I
You can
want,
use this one.
so actually the meaning of science and technical park has barriers, right?
Yep.
So one type is like Taiwanese, Thailand,
Yep.
yes. So river space,
Yep.
science technical park, and other concept like Silicon Valley.
Silicon Valley, yeah, the innovation kind of districts. Yep, yep.
So I wonder if there is how many
Okay,
science park types?
okay.
Just one type?
Okay, now actually tomorrow at the conference I will show another type, which is Research Institute Science Park. So it's not university as the main campus, but Research Institute. And also there are several areas of innovation that you mentioned. Innovation District. It's where we do the boundary of the cluster where there are sufficient industry, knowledge supplies, and startups working together in that district. One of the promising one is very close to downtown of Bangkok. It's called Medical Innovation District. There are 7 hospitals and medical centers over there, and there are 3 medical schools, and there are incentive from the Board of Investment for the companies to set up their business in this district. They will get tax-free, they will get special grants from the government. So this is also the another type of areas of innovation. It's not on campus, but it's the area. So we can just have the what they call the sub-city to be called innovation district. So that's one scale. And a bigger scale we call innovation corridor. It's the area of 4 or 5 cities together, which the flagship governing by the central government saying what kind of technologies or industry needs to be placed there. One of the biggest, or we can call mega project from Thai government is Eastern Economic Corridor. So this is located close to the biggest port of the country. So there are a lot of industrial parks, and they are bringing new technology parks, innovation parks to plug in with the industrial parks and encourage more foreign direct investment, because that very large scales of the areas of innovation. So there are many types. It's still developing, but we see more of the government schemes to push these areas of innovation in different places of Thailand. And in the border of Thailand, like the north, the northeast, and the south, they also have cross-border economic corridor. So, for example, in the south of Thailand, we are connecting with Malaysia. So we have this kind of scheme to support the cross-border innovation between 2 countries. And on this left-hand side of the country, we have Cambodia, Laos, Myanmar, and also partly across to Vietnam, our friends. So this is also has been encouraged to have the Mekong, Great Mekong sub-region collaboration to transfer knowledge between this area. And Thai ASPA has just launched our MOU with the corporates in Laos to help transfer technologies because they're all going to do all the farming, but they don't know how to do processing in food and other produce. So we help strengthen them to set up the food processing to reach the global standards. So that's the beginning of the collaboration. But at the end of the day, we don't think that Thailand can stand alone. We work in the region to help our friends, our neighboring to go together.
Sorry, one
Yep.
question. As you said, there are a lot of partners in the innovation retreat, such as R&D center,
Yep.
university,
Yep.
or enterprise.
Yep.
But I think the most important thing is the cooperative mechanism between among them. Can you tell us more detail about the mechanism, cooperative mechanism?
Government mechanisms to drive the
Yeah.
district, right? So as I mentioned first, we have the startup visa for the international expats or the companies who are from abroad and wanna set up their companies in this district. They will get startup visa as a fast pass. Secondly, in terms of financial support, they will get special grants extra from other districts. Okay. Third, they can get tax incentives. If they are the companies that set up in that district, they will get tax exempt for 10 years. They do not have to pay their revenue tax. Because normally if you are the company, you gotta pay your entity tax, right? So this will be like excluded for the next 10 years once you set up your company or you have a research collaboration. Also, if you do collaboration research in that district, you will get 2 times R&D tax reduction. Normally, you can claim like how much you spend, right, for 100%. But if you do in this district, you can claim 2 times more. Yeah, something like that.
Thank you very much. Thank you for